Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my room. So let me get this straight and make sure we're starting this video off on the same page here. 2 American astronauts were stranded in space for almost an entire year because NASA trusted Boeing to get them up and back safely, and Boeing immediately fumbled the bag so hard that they had to be rescued by SpaceX just to come home alive. And the media doesn't touch the story because Elon bad, right? He committed the crime of waving above the shoulder. So instead, they're going to shove Katy Perry in a giant wiener and pretend rich moms in space is some sort of astonishing achievement. Do I have that right? How disconnected from the public can you be? Let me explain to you why this whole Katy Perry story is stupider than you realize. The 2 astronauts that went up there to the International Space Station were Butch Wilmore, a NASA astronaut and former Navy test pilot, and Suni Williams, an extremely experienced NASA astronaut and naval officer. Suni Williams was also the 2nd woman ever to command the ISS. So you could have totally been like, hey, look at this strong woman who got to where she is based entirely on her own merit and became the 2nd woman to command the ISS. But nope, you dropped the ball there, didn't you? By the way, the whole point of this mission was meant to prove that Boeing's Starliner could handle commercial space travel. This was the test, and if successful, it would mean that Boeing would join SpaceX as some sort of taxi service to get people to and from the space station. They went up there in June of 2024, and they were supposed to be up there for 8 days, but as soon as the Starliner docked, helium began leaking from 5 different locations, several thrusters failed, and the propulsion system issues were so bad that NASA didn't trust the Starliner to bring them back safely. And Elon Musk claims that they could have went up there to rescue them sooner, but Biden wouldn't authorize a rescue mission because they didn't want to risk making Trump look good. It didn't benefit them politically, so the astronauts were forced to remain on the ISS until after the election so that Donald Trump could send SpaceX up there to get them. We've all seen the video of them landing safely in the Gulf of America and making it back alive. We've all seen that. But they weren't just sitting up there waiting on their asses playing Go Fish and arm wrestling. They were working full-time the entire time to help keep the ISS operational. That means maintenance and repairs on station systems, critical stuff like oxygen systems, life support, solar arrays, daily exercise to prevent muscle and bone loss, emergency drills dealing with limited supplies, carefully rationing food, oxygen, and water, and studying the effects of long-duration spaceflight, essentially becoming guinea pigs for how extended exposure to space affects the human body. These badass motherfuckers are astronauts. They weren't pampered space tourists. They were stranded because of corporate incompetence, risking their lives every single day, and they were left up there for political reasons. Now compare that with the Real Housewives of Planetary Orbit. This wasn't bravery. This wasn't exploration. This was rich moms doing cosmic tourism in a giant flying Amazon logo. Katy Perry and Gayle did zero work up there. No contributions to science, no risk, no serious commercial achievement. It was just a flex. They barely went into space. They crossed the Kármán line threshold for 4 minutes and came back to Earth, and you can too, as long as you're friends with a billionaire's wife. So Katy Perry, Gayle King, Caitlyn Jenner, and like 3 other women sat in a rocket, and since people find comfort in familiarity, they made sure to shape the rocket itself into something they were all very familiar with. This is why you gotta make rockets pointy.
It is too round on the top, it needs to be pointy. Round is not scary. Pointy is scary. This will put a smile on the faces of the enemy. They will think that it is a huge robot's dildo flying towards them.
All right, I'm being told that is not Caitlyn Jenner, which is very transphobic, and I think you need to check your privilege. So the entire point of the mission, according to them, was to inspire young women to want to become astronauts. So instead of focusing on the 2nd woman ever to command the ISS, they're just gonna send a bunch of activists to space and frame it as a huge win for feminism. Except that this rocket was built by men, maintained by men, controlled remotely by men, paid for by men because of a company run by a man. So where's the feminism? You're not a crew, you're passengers who took a trip up to the Kármán line. That would be like if you set a Tesla on autopilot and rode it up to the Canadian border and jumped back and forth over the line and called it a trip to Canada. Oh, your trip to Canada was so brave. I hope you weren't too affected by your momentary lack of constitutional freedom. Nah, that would be a joke. This is a joke. So they were up there for 4 minutes, which is just enough time for Katy Perry to sing What a Wonderful World because celebrity singing worked so well the last time. They had an opportunity for selfies and a sorority-style woo-a-thon.
1, 2, 3, take a space!
Why do you have to be such dumb bimbos, dude? I'm surprised none of you tried to open the window for some air. They act like drunk college kids up there. And then once that 4 minutes were up, they screamed like a bat out of hell the entire way down.
Free falling right there until those drugs came out.
Soon as they landed, Katy Perry kissed the ground and then rambled about learning about flowers or fairy tales or whatever. I don't know. Whenever Katy Perry tries to be profound, my brain automatically tunes it out to protect my IQ. It's kind of a defense mechanism. Some people are saying the whole thing was fake. I don't care if it was or if it wasn't fake. They look retarded either way.
Katie,
of the group.
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Killer of the group.
No, you are not.
I'm crier.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
No, you're not!
I feel super connected to love.
What does that mean? Are you high?
So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
See, she thought she ate. You said nothing. You said nothing. Oh, you never know how much love is inside of you until you launch. Oh, it's cool. I didn't know that in order to love myself, I have to spend 5 minutes in space.
And you brought a real life Daisy up.
That's
it was
right.
important for you, not only because it's your daughter's name, but why else was that important to bring it?
Daisies are common flowers, but they grow through any condition.
Except space.
Gayle shared with us the song that you sang when you got up there. What a wonderful world. Why was that important to sing that particular song?
Because I'm a huge cringe magnet and it worked so well when all my Illuminati friends sang Imagine during the pandemic that was definitely not manufactured, and they really touched the hearts and minds of all the millions of little flowers at the end of the leprechaun's rainbows, all of God's smiles. So it was very important that I sing that particular song, and nothing I say after this is going to be any more intellectually profound. And while the ladies were doing stage interviews and press tour bullshit, Jeff Bezos launched himself into PR space because the all-female launch backfired tremendously. They were all being memed on. This one shows Katy Perry kissing the ground. It says me when I get back to my apartment from running errands. This is my favorite and honestly relatable. People were calling it tone deaf and gluttonous, saying it overshadowed women's actual accomplishments, like, I don't know, being the second woman to command the ISS, and all it did was highlight the wealth disparity, especially during times of global hardship. People are suffering, but Katy Perry bringing a flower into space gets crazy wide media attention. Gayle King also said something stupid, but that's unsurprising.
You never see a male astronaut who's going up in space and they said, oh, he took a ride. We actually duplicated the route that Alan Shepard did. That's why it's called, this particular capsule is called the New Shepard. We duplicated that route. No one said he took that ride. Yeah. It's always referred to as a flight or a journey.
Because you're not a crew. You did take a ride. All you did was leave Earth's border. Like, if we could communicate with extraterrestrials and form a relationship with them, the Kármán line would be Earth's border. You would be entering Earth's territory if you passed that line. Well, that is until Donald Trump builds a spherical dome along the Kármán line and deports all the illegals. No illegal aliens will be crossing the border into Earth. So yeah, that whole ride was exactly that. It was a ride, and the criticism online is completely justified. Like, who do you dumb bimbos think you are? You are overshadowing the achievements of actual female astronauts. But the fact that this got so much media attention and not the astronauts that were stranded really pisses me off. Where's the interviews of Butch, Wilmore, and Sunita Williams? Where's their press conference? Why don't they get any stage presence? The mainstream media continues to be a joke. Anyways, that's all the time we have for this one. So the comment of the day comes from Erebon, who says,
Jasmine just proves it's not what you know, it's who you blow. Sheldon Daniels' guy seems like he is going to be a runaway candidate if he only has to run against Jasmine since she can't scream racism against the man.
I couldn't agree more, my friend. All he has to do is let Jasmine Crockett talk and the stupidity will reveal itself over time. I would pay to see a debate between them and watch Sheldon Daniels grill her on the Act Blue donations. That would be hilarious. If you guys would like me to read your comment in the next video, just leave one down below because I'm picking my favorites and you can make it in the next one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button or I will put a curse on your family for 7 generations. You can go to seekingasylum.net to play my game or cop some sick merch. You can hit the join button down below to become a member of the channel and get a cool badge next to your name. Or you can go to my clips channel at NefClips to check out some live stream clips that I make in between uploads, and I'll see you in the next video. I've been riding around town, blowing loud with the window down. Oh shit. New phone, who this? I'm just steady winning. You can't even hurt my feelings, homie. Oh shit. New phone, who this? You can't ever slow me. Half of y'all don't even know me, homie. Oh shit. New phone, who this? Don't you dare try to call me, cause I'm introverted, homie. Better text me that shit. New phone, who this?